Have you ever wondered how a small barbecue joint became one of the most recognized brands globally? How the golden arches of McDonald's, now a symbol of fast food worldwide, had their origins in a simple yet revolutionary idea of two brothers? And what if I told you, the man who is often credited with the creation of this global empire wasn't the actual founder? McDonald's, the world's second-largest restaurant chain, is more than just its food. And at the heart of it are two men named Richard and Maurice McDonald. Their name, McDonald, could be interpreted from Gaelic to mean world rulers, very fitting considering their future empire. Our story begins in the rural heartland of America, in Manchester, New Hampshire to be precise. Born into a family of Irish immigrants, Richard and Maurice McDonald were the quintessential American dreamers. They were born into a modest family, Maurice in 1902 and Richard in 1909. Their father was a shift manager in a shoe factory, a humble job that ensured a paycheck but little else. Life was comfortable, but there was an unspoken understanding that they were destined for something more. Growing up, the brothers were bright students. They excelled in their studies, with Richard showing an aptitude for business and Maurice leaning more towards the technical side. This would later prove to be a potent combination in the creation of their fast food empire. After completing their schooling, the brothers, driven by a desire to make a name for themselves, decided to move to California in the 1920s at the height of the American film boom. They thought their fortunes lay in Hollywood's glamorous movie industry, so they started their own movie theater. However, running a theater during the time wasn't as profitable as they had expected. To supplement their income, they opened a hot dog stand nearby. This was their first foray into the food business, although they didn't know it at the time. Unfortunately, when the Great Depression hit, both their ventures failed. Their next venture began to take shape in 1940, when they took their first real steps into the food industry. With a small yet significant seed capital, they leased a small plot of land in San Bernardino, California. In an era where restaurants were mostly mom-and-pop establishments, theirs stood out. However, it wasn't without its flaws. Customers would wait a long time for their orders, which often arrived incorrectly. Seeing these issues, the brothers had an idea. They streamlined their menu to hamburgers, French fries, and Coke, and optimized their kitchen to work like an assembly line. Efficiency skyrocketed and customer orders could be filled in as little as 30 seconds. The result? A sensation across the country. Enter Ray Kroc. Kroc was a natural-born hustler whose journey into the fast food industry began rather unconventionally. In the early 1950s, Kroc was trying to make a living by selling a multi-mixer milkshake machine. He was struggling to find a market for his product until one day he received an unusually large order from a small barbecue joint in San Bernardino, California. Intrigued by the size of the order, Kroc decided to pay the buyers a visit, a decision that would change his life forever. The sight of the McDonald brothers' efficient and popular operation in California was a revelation to Kroc. He saw a potential that was much bigger than a local joint, a replicable model that could revolutionize the entire restaurant industry. The simple yet radical concept, a limited menu, high-quality products, affordable prices, and quick service, was an eye-opener. However, Kroc soon realized that the brothers were satisfied with their local success. They had little interest in taking their brand nationwide. This is where Kroc's visionary nature came into play. He saw a vast, untapped potential, a fast food empire in the making, and he was ready to seize the opportunity, even if it meant clashing with the McDonald brothers. Seeing potential, Kroc proposed the brothers a deal to expand their brand. The brothers, who were already in their 50s and content with their success, agreed on one condition: that they would retain control of their original restaurant. With a contract in hand, Kroc opened the first franchised McDonald's in Des Plaines, Illinois in 1955. Kroc was diligent, focusing on uniformity and quality control across locations. The franchise boomed, but the relationship between Kroc and the McDonald brothers grew tense. Despite their contract, Kroc was frustrated by the McDonald's reluctance to change or expand their menu or to refurbish their restaurant. They were reluctant to give up control, and Kroc felt their lack of ambition was a barrier to the global domination he envisioned. To gain control, Kroc had a stroke of genius. He formed the Franchise Realty Corporation in 1956, which allowed him to purchase the land on which McDonald's restaurants would be built and lease it back to the franchisees. This gave Kroc leverage over the brothers and a steady revenue stream. By 1961, Kroc's vision had outgrown the brothers' ambitions. He proposed buying out the brothers. They agreed, selling their name and business for $2.7 million each, enough to provide them with a comfortable retirement, but a fraction of the fortune Kroc would make. The brothers continued to run their original San Bernardino restaurant, but in an ironic twist, Kroc opened a McDonald's nearby, which eventually forced the brothers to shut down. Their name was stripped from their original restaurant, and they faded into obscurity while Kroc is celebrated as the founder of McDonald's. With the McDonald brothers out of the picture, Ray Kroc was free to expand McDonald's according to his vision. He was fanatical about maintaining standards, pushing for a consistent experience at every McDonald's outlet, whether it was in Alaska or Alabama. Kroc added new products to the menu, including the famous Big Mac and the now ubiquitous Happy Meal, all while expanding rapidly both in the United States and abroad. His focus was on global dominance. As McDonald's grew, so did its branding. Kroc redesigned the logo and introduced a clown mascot named Ronald McDonald to appeal to children. These were just a few of the steps Kroc took to make McDonald's the recognizable brand we know today. Ray Kroc's leadership was not without criticism. He was known to be a tough and demanding leader, pushing his franchisees to meet the high standards he set. But it was his relentless drive and vision that turned McDonald's from a small California drive-in to a global phenomenon. Meanwhile, the McDonald brothers watched as the empire they had started expanded beyond their wildest dreams. They had agreed to sell their business to Kroc and had no legal claim to the McDonald's brand or the profits it was generating. Richard McDonald would later say in an interview that he had no regrets about selling to Kroc. But it's hard not to wonder what might have been if they had kept control of their brand. In the aftermath of the buyout, Ray Kroc took the reins and led McDonald's into an era of unprecedented growth. By the mid-1960s, McDonald's had grown to over 700 restaurants nationwide. But Kroc didn't stop there. He realized the potential of the brand globally and began expanding internationally. The first McDonald's restaurant outside the U.S. opened in British Columbia, Canada in 1967. By the time of Kroc's death in 1984, McDonald's had over 7,500 locations in 32 countries, serving 19 million customers every day. But as in any great story, the journey of McDonald's is not without its shadows. Over the years, McDonald's has been at the heart of numerous controversies and criticisms. From allegations of promoting unhealthy eating habits to labor issues, the company has faced its share of scrutiny. In response to concerns about nutritional value, McDonald's has made efforts to offer healthier options, including salads, fruit, and low-fat dairy products. The company has also taken steps to improve animal welfare in its supply chain and reduce its environmental impact. On the labor front, McDonald's has faced criticism for low wages and poor working conditions. In many countries, employees have organized strikes and demanded higher pay and better benefits. In response, McDonald's has made commitments to improve employee wages and benefits in several markets, although progress varies from country to country. Today, as McDonald's navigates these challenges, it continues to adapt and evolve. From introducing plant-based menu options to exploring technology-driven solutions like self-service kiosks and mobile ordering, the company remains committed to innovation and growth. As we wrap up our exploration of the history of McDonald's, we invite you to be a part of the conversation. What are your thoughts on McDonald's journey? How do you feel about the company's efforts to adapt and innovate in the face of criticism and societal changes? And what would you like to see from them in the future? Share your thoughts, insights, and experiences in the comments section below. We value your perspectives and are always excited to see the discussions that unfold. If you enjoyed this journey through the evolution of McDonald's, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, be sure to hit the subscribe button and bell icon so you don't miss out on future videos. Until next time.